In this recall by Dataiku video, we are going to generate occupancy percentage and bookings insights for hotel business. This is an end-to-end data analytics project that will cover data cleaning, data transformation, dashboarding, and insights generation. Let's get started. Let's explore the data set. The first file we have is dim hotels, where we have list of hotel properties along with their city and the hotel type, business or luxury, etc. The second file we have is dim date, which is just a date metadata. So along with date, you have information on whether it's a weekend or weekday, what kind of week number it is, and so on. And the third file we have is the rooms, what kind of rooms, basically standard, elite, etc. And then we have our fact table, which has an aggregated number of bookings and capacity. For example, let's say this property on this particular date for this room type, we had 25 successful bookings and the total capacity was 30. You can get started with Dataiku by clicking on Start Free and registering your account here, or you can install it locally by downloading it from here. In this case, you will be using your own infrastructure for compute, etc. Whereas when you use their cloud version, you are using Dataiku servers for your data science project. I'm using the online version of Dataiku. I can click on Open Dataiku DSS, which stands for Data Science Studio. Here you will see projects, workspace, application, different option. You'll see same homepage when you are running the local install version as well. I'm going to click on new project here. I will just call it bookings insights. So we are generating bookings and occupancy percentage insights for our data set. And when you import your data set, you get different options: SQL, no SQL. You can connect with variety of data sources. We are just going to upload the CSV files that we have. So here I will click on all four of them and just say create multiple data sets. While importing, you can go to schema and change their data types. Now there are two types of data types you will see. The first one is the storage. So internally on this, it will store it as this particular data type. But then you have a meaning, like what kind of meaning you want to give. So here, I'll just create a next and I'll just take whatever it gives, and then I can later on change their data types. So let's check these tables one by one. So the first one we have is dim hotels, and here my storage data type is string. The meaning is integer. I want to change this to text because these are discrete categories basically. If I'm building a machine learning model, I don't want it to think that 16561 is greater than 16560. It's just a unique identifier, but as such, these are discrete properties. That's why I changed it to text. These things make sense as text, so this looks good now. I can go to the other table, let's say aggregated booking. Once again, I will change this to text. Check-in date. The date is unpassed, so I will just click date and make it like a proper date data type. This thing, I will just go and say this is integer even at the storage level. Click OK. Even capacity, I want to make it as integer, both at storage level as well as meaning level. This looks good. Let's go to our third table. Dim rooms, both of these are text, makes sense. Dim date, this should be a date data type, so I'll just click date here, and these looks good. All right, so my data set is imported with correct data types. Now it's the time for doing data cleaning and transformation. So let's check our first table. Here I'm noticing some negative values. See, minus 16, then minus 18. Now obviously bookings cannot be negative. So now I need to somehow filter these incorrect values. And Dataiku allows them to filter using something called visual recipes. And these are perfect for non-technical users. So what I can do here is click on sample filter. Okay, and just say create recipe. And I want to have a filter where I say my successful bookings needs to be greater than 0. Okay, so you can do that, or you can specify a formula. If you're a little bit of a technical user, you can specify formula as well. So formula or condition. So in the condition, you will have another condition that, okay, my bookings basically should be less than, it should be less than my capacity, correct? And once again, when I look at my data set, what I find that there is some problem. So let me just show you here. So if you click on this data set, you will notice that, see, I have this 99 value, which is greater than capacity. I can't have bookings which are greater than my capacity. I have 40 rooms in my hotel. I can't book 99, So I will just filter this as well. So let's go to flow once again. And here in the flow, see, we created this filter recipe. So when you double click on it, you will see this thing here. So first of all, you can do sampling as well, but I'm not going to do any sampling. I want to include all the records, but I want to have some filters. Now, as I explained before, I can say successful booking is greater than 0, and my successful booking should be less than the capacity. But see here, it doesn't allow me to specify second column, and therefore I need to go formula route, and I need to just say the booking should be less than or equal to my capacity. Okay, so here capacity, and you can just say save, and you can just say run. Okay, so when you run it, it is going to apply the transformation step and create a new data set which will have all the bad values filtered, and you can check it by going to flow, double click here, and you should not see any negative values here. You should not see any values where successful booking is greater than capacity. And by the way, this is the 9196 rows, and previously I had 9200 rows. Okay, so I filtered total 4 values. All right, let's work on some data transformation now. I'm gonna click on this filter values, and here I will apply a preparation visual recipe. So preparation visual recipe will allow me to create new columns. For example, we want to create this occupancy percentage column, which is nothing but the successful booking divided by capacity. So let me add that. So I will just say add new step, and in the new step, I will use a formula. This is more like an Excel formula, but it's much more advanced. So you can just click on the formula, and the new column you are creating is called OCC percentage, and that is successful bookings divided by capacity. You can just say run, and since it's a percentage, I will just multiply it by about 100. So I got this, but there's some issue with rounding. So I can add a new step, and I can just say I want to round these numbers with 2 decimal places. And the column I want to round is OCC percentage. Run again. And you see nice rounding for OCC percentage. All right, so my data transformation is done. You will see all the steps on the left hand side. And once again, all these are visual formulas. So these are perfect for people who don't know coding, who are a little less technical. It allows you to perform all kind of transformation with so much ease. All right, so my transformation pipeline looks something like this. So I first created filtered data set, then I created the transform data set. Now I'm ready to join this with other tables. I need to join it so that when I'm building dashboard, I have all the values available. So the first thing that I'm going to join it with is dim hotels. So let's do that. So again click on this and I will just say join. So I want to join this with dim hotels, okay, and just say create recipe. And this is more like SQL join, by the way. If you use a SQL, see, you can select left join, inner join, right join, and so on. So I'm gonna just do left join based on property ID. You can click that here. If you just want to change a column name, you can just change it easily. But since the column names are same here, it auto detected that and it used that, okay. And when you say selected columns, it's like doing a left join and then removing unnecessary duplicate columns. So property ID is duplicate, right, in both of them, and it removed that. And if you want them, I don't know why you would want that. You can uncheck it and then you can just say run. That was done. When I go to flow, you will see that now this dim hotel is joined with that particular table. All right, now let's join this with other table, which is a dim room. So you'll do same steps. So you'll say join with dim rooms here, and here I will call it bookings with rooms. Create a recipe. Once again, it's a left join and I'll add a condition. So I want to connect using category, not category, actually room category. So see, room category and room ID. The column names were different, so it could not auto-detect it, in which case you have to manually map these things. In terms of selected columns, I don't want room ID to be repeated, so I'm unchecking this and just hit run. All right, this is successful. Let's go back to flow. Join it with last table that we have, which is dim date. So click this thing here and join with dim date now. Create a recipe and I will just call this with date. And add a condition to join this using check-in date versus this date. See, these two dates are kind of similar. Hit OK, selected columns, uncheck date. You don't want two date columns. You can, by the way, also create some computed columns after the join if you want to. We don't want it in this case. I'll just hit run once again. All right, so job succeeded once again. And now I have joined with all the dimension tables, and my final table looks something like this. You can double click on it and you will see that this is like doing denormalization. Basically, you had fact tables and dim date tables and you join everything. This is sort of like data modeling where you're connecting everything. Now you have this one big table where you have all the data that you need for your dashboarding. Now I'll click on charts and start building various charts that I need for my dashboard. So the first one I need is a line chart. So you can just click on lines here and start putting your measures. So on the x-axis, I want the week number. So week number I have here. So I can put that on x-axis. And on the y-axis, I want the successful bookings. So successful bookings or OCC percentage. So I'll put this thing here. And it creates this kind of chart. Now you can configure it, by the way. So let's say I want my x-axis to start with, let's say 12 values, So you can just click on this. You can say range is manual and I want to start this at, let's say 12. So it looks something like this. And the x-axis label that I want is bookings. Okay. And okay, x-axis title is week number. That's it. This is my line chart. Now you can also add a filter. So let's say I move MMMMYY here, and this is the chart for entire 3 months. But let's say I want to look at the chart only for July. Okay, so this is how it looks. I want to see May. So you can use this filter option. Now, if you look at this trend, one quick insight you will have is I have less bookings in third and fourth week. So see, this is my week number 1, 2. See, third week, I'm seeing a drop in my bookings. This is 4 week, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So overall, in like second and third week, I'm seeing a drop in the booking. So maybe we can run some special promotion and we can increase number of bookings in the second and third weeks. Now you can create multiple charts. So this is my first chart. Now you can click on this plus chart icon and create another chart. So another one that we want is a pivot table where on the x-axis, so let me just first create a pivot table. So pivot table, in terms of rows, I want to have property name. So, and in terms of columns, I want to have, let's say YY, so that I can see, like every month, what is the value, and I can have OCC percentage as a value here. So this is how it looks. You can obviously customize the headers for this column. So I will have property name instead of technical snake case a name here. Rest of the things are looking good. I can just say OCC percentage here. By the way, you can add multiple measures as well. So you can, let's say, add successful booking here. And then for each row, you have these two measures. To keep things simple, I will just stick to OCC percentage only. My third chart would be a pie chart, which shows a breakdown between different room categories. So I want to once again show OCC percentage breakdown by room class. So standard, presidential, premium, etc. Maybe I can do bookings instead of OCC percentage. So let me remove this, and these are my bookings based on the room class. And the fourth one I want to have is a simple KPI chart. So here I can have two type of KPI. One is successful bookings and the other one is the OCC percentage. You can obviously customize the title here. So I will just say bookings here. And for the other one, I will just say OCC percentage. All right. Now my individual visuals are ready. What I can do now is publish them to my dashboard. So my dashboard, let's say, is Booking Insights default dashboard. Okay. I can include all these four visuals which I have created and just hit create, and see it will create this kind of dashboard. Now you can arrange things as per your convenience. So let's say I want to move my KPI at the top left. Then I want to have my line chart. Then at the bottom here, I have my pie chart. And then my table. You can also add filter by cities. So someone wants to, let's say, do analysis based on various cities. So we have properties in total 4 cities. So I will add filter for that. You can just say plus and add filters. Click on existing tiles, and let's say from this tile I'm selecting city. So just click on city, add, and you can move this thing here. I see a problem where these bookings do not make sense. So I want to fix that issue. So I can just click on that and click here. And in the successful booking, I have average. Actually, I want this sum of total bookings, and I can just say decimal places only 1. Okay, hit save, back to dashboard, and now see my dashboard is ready. You can view the statistics by expanding the city. By the way, this has edit and view mode, so only if you go to view mode you'll be able to interact with it. So let's discuss some insights here. Overall, if you look at this week line chart, you will see a drop in your booking in third and fourth week of every week. See, this is first, second, third week. This is fourth. This is actually fifth week, by the way. So third or 4 or 5 week, you see a drop in the booking. So maybe you want to run a special discount on those weeks to increase the sales. Then when I look at this particular table, I see that occupancy rate for at-least seasons is very, very less. This means if I have 100 rooms, only 44 are occupied and remaining are not occupied. So you want to do something with this particular type of hotels to increase the occupancy rate. In terms of the breakdown between the rooms, Elite room seems to be making the most of the bookings. So you definitely want to continue providing the best service as far as these rooms are concerned. You can look at individual cities. For example, when I look at Delhi, Delhi has a 61% occupancy rate, which I think is highest among all. If you look at Mumbai, for example, it is 58. Hyderabad is 58. Bangalore is 56. Almost similar, not too much difference. But Delhi is definitely number one in terms of occupancy rate. So you draw all these insights and then you can even export these dashboards to PDF. So I can go to actions and then just say export as PDF or JPG or PNG. You can export it to an image and put it in your PowerPoint presentation. So you say export dashboard. Dashboard that I exported looks something like this. You can also click individual city, export individual file as a JPG or PNG and put it in your presentation. Now, this was just one slide for my dashboard. You can create a new slide and add a different dashboard. For example, for supply chain and marketing team, you want to have two different dashboards, so you can create them here as well. Now, let's go to the home page here. And here you will see some other useful features such as your project to-do list. You can create new tasks here and just check them off as you make progress on your data science project. You can also create machine learning models. Let's say you want to create time series forecasting for your bookings. You can do that as well. And here it shows the timeline of all the activities that you did, sort of like Git check-ins that you're having. And you can click on activity. You can see the authors who are contributing to this project. You can obviously add new contributors to this project. So it becomes like a truly collaborative platform on the cloud where different people from your data science team are contributing here. Your data is on the cloud and you get a lot of features inbuilt. So it speeds up the process of your project development. Also in the flows tab, you can add code specific recipes. So let's say your transformation is a little complex. You can click on Python and write the Python code for your transformation. Information on how to download the dataset for this project is in the video description below. As an exercise, you can add a few more visuals and generate new insight. If you like watching this video, please hit the like button below and share this with your friends. Thank you for watching.